I welcome you all, guys. Okay, so let me allow people to record. So one more time, once again, welcome you guys. I'm going to be moderating this webinar. As I told you from the beginning, I am a research director at African Rebirth, and today's topic is what it takes to turn startups into scalable big businesses in Africa. So we will learn a lot from the panelists. We have two panelists. The first panelist is Yohana Ermias. She is a co-founder and CTO at Equip Financial Technology PLC. The second panelist is Alexander Ishimiana, and he is a CEO at Sanit Wing Limited and co-founder of Zibasor. So I'm gonna be giving you guys a quick biography of our panelists. I'm just waiting for the biographies to show up, and I'm going to just so that you will have an idea about who is talking and their experience. I'm waiting for Enoch, our founder, to.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see here, hopefully everyone can see the screen here. Alexander is a passionate and aspiring agripreneur who was awarded Best Young Entrepreneur.
Please, can you zoom it a bit, my brother?
Okay. Can you zoom it a little bit? Yeah, so that they will see.
Zoom?
Can you zoom it a little bit, your word, the word?
No.
No, you just have to come down there. You can zoom it. You can actually zoom it.
Okay. But there is noise in the background. Okay, let me.
Oh, you just increase the font size.
So first wait. There is noise in the background, please. If you can't. Jesus Christ. If you're not speaking, please mute Martin Maluka, please. You're making our meeting go bad. Can you please mute?
Yeah, I think it's okay now. It's okay.
So the discipline is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not speaking, please mute. If you want to speak something, wait to be given an opportunity for us to create a very calming environment. So that's point home. I hope people understand. Okay. So let me share. People can't see it.
No, we can't see the.
Oh, I haven't shared. Let me share.
Okay, I think it's coming.
You don't see it?
Yeah, now we can see it. Can you zoom it a little bit? You can actually increase the font size. It all depends on you.
Okay.
Yeah, just increase the font size a little bit or the whole document. It's possible. You can do that. No, you have to select all and then you increase the font size. Or you can come to the Zoom side. Look at down your right-hand side. Down your right-hand side, you can see 100%, 0%. You can increase it from there, plus, minus. Okay. Now it's yeah, now it's fine. It's okay. Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, okay, guys. As I was saying, I'm gonna be giving a quick biographies of our two panelists. Okay, we've said that our first panelist is Yohana Ermias. Okay, and we've said that she is a co-founder and CTO at Equip Financial Technologies PLC. And our second panelist is Alexander And he is a CEO at Sanit Wing Limited and co-founder of Zibasur. So let me just begin with Alexander. As I was saying, he's a passionate and aspiring agripreneur who was awarded Best Young Entrepreneur by Rwandan Development Board in 2017. He has attended multiple professional trainings and has a certificate in agriculture, value chain, finance, contract farming, business management, digital marketing, and leadership. He aspires to positively impact, socially inspire, and politically empower young people for generations. Let us move on with the quick biographies. Sir, can you just, yes, exactly. No, just a little down. Uh, no, up, up. You should go up a little bit. Go up. You should go up.
No, that's her bio, Yohana and.
So if you want, you can reduce the font size a little bit. Maybe it's gonna make things easier for you. Just press Control A. You can select all and then you reduce the font size. You don't have to do it manually, actually.
Okay, can you see now?
Yeah, but that's not what I stopped. Okay, anyway, let's move on now with the second panelist. As I was saying, that's Yohana. She's currently co-founder and CTO at Equip Financial Technologies PLC. That's what I was saying. And is a pre-medicine graduate from, yes, from Jackson State University, and a self-taught software developer who, amongst other ventures, such as a free offline test preparation app for students taking the 8th, 10th, and 12th grades Ethiopian national exams, has also successfully founded and scaled an enterprise airtime management and distribution system in Ethiopia. Johanna self-led and unconditional journey into computer science and techpreneurship. Actually, you know, guys, it's my first time to hear something like that. Techpreneurship, okay, is an inspiring story that sheds light on how technology is changing the dynamics of education and how crucial it is to leverage it. So these are some quick biographies of our panelists. So let us begin by giving the floor to our first panelist. Women first, always women first, right? Sir Enoch, what do you think, Enoch?
It's perfect, of course, of course, of course.
So, Johanna, if I may ask you, Johanna, are you with us? Yeah. Please, in the introduction, if I when I was reading your biography, if I make any mistake, please, I'm sorry. Okay, you can correct me.
No, no mistake at all.
Okay. So maybe you can give us a quick introduction about yourself and the kind of business you do. You know, a quick presentation. After that, our second panelist will do the same thing, and then after that, maybe we will have some question and answers, which is going to be moderated by Sir Enoch.
Okay. So as you said, my name is Yohana. I am co-founder and chief technical officer at Uko Financial Technologies. So what Uko Financial Technologies, what we do is there is a rotational savings and credit association known as Uko. It's also known as Susu in Ghana, I think, or in Nigeria. It exists all over Africa and many Francophone countries as well. So what Ukub is a group of people agreeing to pool a certain amount of money and a certain amount of duration. and one person gets to win the pot in per round. So what this does is it's availing credit, access to credit, interest-free, collateral-free, and within the community. So all you have to do is come back the next round and put the money back in the pot, and all your other members of the group will also do the same, and that will rotate until the whole cycle is complete. So with this in mind, this is a traditional proven access to credit and access to savings. So what we did is we took all of the nuances, the parameters, all of the characters of what a Ukub is traditionally, and we turned it into an application, because now we have, you know, platforms, apps, all of these things that we can leverage to make things more efficient, to decentralize things, and to scale it. So because the thing was with the traditional Ukub is that it's very centralized. Although it avails access to credit to marginalized groups, to small and medium enterprises, and to anybody that needs it really. It is very centralized because you can only join an Ukub with people that you know. And if the duration is not, you know, fitting to you, then you can't do anything about that, because the group of people you know have already picked, settled on a certain duration and a certain amount. But with an application, what you can do is decentralize this access to Ukub. So these Ukub groups can be coverable. So an Ukub in Ethiopia, somebody in the West can be sitting in America and join this Ukub. So we're laying the pipeline to do different payment integrations with different entities to allow this. So that's what we're doing here at Ukub, availing access to credit by decentralizing this traditional rotational savings and credit association.
That's actually, thank you so much, Yohana. That's very, very interesting, you know. So you can see how innovative they are, because they've moved from our traditional financing system to a more developed and efficient financial system, which is very, very good. It's actually my first time to hear about something like that. I didn't know that something like that existed in Africa. I know the traditional way, but this is very innovative and encouraging. Thank you so much. So let us now move on to the second panelist. Alexander, can you hear us? Alexander, are you with us? I don't know.
I don't know if the guy is around, but we don't have to waste time. Let's move.
Okay.
I'll dive in. I'll dive in so much. I want to dive in, and we have little time really. Let me see. Okay, perfect. So wonderful. Thank you, Osman, for directing the panels. Thank you, Yohana. Good to see you. We just want to begin with, diving into today's discussion, and the discussion as directs like the art of entrepreneurship. How do we turn, small businesses into big into big enterprises? But to start something, you must have a mentality, something like somewhere you must have the right thinking. So my first question to you, Yohana, what is the best mentality of an entrepreneur? What is the mentality of a winning entrepreneur? Like many young people want to start something. You're not in your 70s, so everyone can agree that you're younger. But what's that mentality that drives you to start a business in the first place?
Okay, I think that's a very good question. I think that one thing that with entrepreneurship, me myself having started other businesses and having seen what it takes to build a scalable business and having failed several times, I think one thing is avoiding the copy-paste mentality. Because actually one thing we really have as Africans is understanding Africa. Africa has very segmented, different kinds of demographics. So being able to understand the nuances and provide solutions for Africa is very important. And all of us in our own respective countries have that knowledge of having grown up in our countries, knowing what the people are, and being able to almost like a predictive, like a predictive machine, be able to tell how things would go. So listening to that gut instinct and your instincts, and maybe even backing it up with data, of course, with research, but listening to that instead of just going with a copy-paste mentality. I think it's very important. I think it's also important to to persevere, I would say, because it's not easy in many countries in Africa. I've had many conversations with different friends in different African countries that have started businesses. And of course, the ease of doing business, the ease of starting a business and scaling it and having it be adopted by the people is not easy. So you have to persevere, and you have to be able to do things in unconventional ways. Conventions aren't always laid out. It could be building your team in your company, setting a certain kind of corporate structure. You might not be able to do that as efficiently as you would in the West, but you have to be able to persevere through that and create that and open many doors. So it's not just something exciting to be an entrepreneur, but it's also hard work, and you have to be able to pass that challenge. I think these two things are important things to be an entrepreneur in Africa, and the mentality of being an African entrepreneur.
That's very true. You spoke about like perseverance, which is not only a skill set applied to entrepreneurs, but even general life, how we can. So what has been your challenge? Share your journey, and how have you overcome those challenges, like the way you persisted? How have we applied the skill of perseverance and hard work in overcoming that?
So there are different challenges, like I said, ease of doing business, for instance. As a startup, for example, speaking on Ethiopia, the policies that the public sector has put in place might not support you starting a startup. So you have to maneuver through those and find loopholes, or even be the voice for startups in your country, and try to get the public sector engaged and change these policies. So in that regard, for example, with the GOP, there are many things that we had challenges with setting the company up, or integrating with our local banks. But I think that's where perseverance applies, is you find loopholes until you can prove the concept. I think proving concept, although it's hard, it's something that you have to do. And once you've proven the concept, I think you'll have the voice to change the policies, or so do these different things. And also other things like following conventions, hiring people, finding the right team. All these things are not very straightforward. So you have to find organic ways and contextual ways, localized ways of going about it, and doing research. There's not a lot of data, for example. That's one huge challenge. So you have to be at the forefront of that. And if you have to create these ways of sourcing data or doing the research yourself in your company, then you have to do that by adding layers. And then once your product is out, the adoption is also another challenge because of the tech literacy that's in the country and different things. So this applies for many countries in Africa, I believe. And the way you can also pass through that is by layering it with trainings and additional layers that you have to apply to your business so that it can be applicable. So it's not something that you just put in the market and people come to and serve themselves to it. You have to actually approach and do a lot of work on the customer acquisition end. So I believe, we wouldn't be able to tap into all of the solutions that we came up with, but just generally having a mindset of persevering and knowing that, accepting that the problems are there, and it's not just about finding a solution, but also layering it with additional things to make that thing successful, to make the business successful. So I think we've been doing a lot of that here at ECOB, and it's served us well.
Oh, perfect, wonderful. So I don't know what happened to our panelists. I see him join, but he left miraculously, disappearing like Prophet Enoch disappeared to heaven. I don't know what happened, but we'll continue. So there are some myths, and I wanted to share, like, what were your myths before you started business? There are myths of, I can't start a business when I don't have $1 million in my account. I can't start a business without the right resources. People are waiting for savings for how many years? So what some of the myths you had that before starting, and how do you overcome those myths? I call them myths because they're not real. You can start a big business without $1 million in your account. You can start a business with all the resources you have. What are some of the myths that you think have killed the arts and the skill innovation amongst young people in Africa?
I think if I've understood your question well, it's you're asking me what given all the problems that there are to start and scale a business, how do you go about actually making sure that it does
Yes.
get scaled?
Yes.
I think it starts with the problem. I think a lot of solutions, like I said earlier, the copy paste mentality, you have to find a problem that's real, and you have to find a problem that addresses a majority of the population in your respective countries, or even all of Africa. So if you're in a country where a majority of the population is living in poverty, and you're deciding that the problem is that, for example, food needs to be delivered to their doorsteps, that might not be a problem that's big enough to scale. So you might succeed in preparing a solution enough just for that specific problem, but the problem is not big enough, so the business won't scale. So sometimes it's understanding the difference between a problem that is grave and real and needs to be solved, and how to solve it. And I've seen a lot of businesses, and even with personal experiences, where we try to apply technology to everything. It doesn't, technology meaning digital apps, I'll just say phone applications. So that might not be how you apply, how you solve the problem. So you have to find the right solution for the problem. So first it's finding the right problem, then it's finding the right way to solve that problem. I believe that if you design your problem, your solution in the right way, then that will allow you, 50% of that will allow you, to scale. Next, it's contextualizing and localizing. The same thing, like you said earlier, the copy-paste mentality, we don't contextualize our solutions to the people that we're solving the problem for. So I think doing that will definitely scale your business. But another big thing is money. A startup needs money, and for you to be able to get money or source money, you have to be investment ready. And to be investment ready, there are a lot of things that you think people will understand about your business, or the way you're representing it, the metrics that you're collecting. All of these things apply to you being investment ready in many angles. So I think it's a collaboration of finding a grave problem, a real problem, designing a good solution, and then a good solution meaning the business plan and the monetization plan involved, and then being investment ready and getting money to actually execute, because going to market it's not easy, especially I believe here in Africa it's not easy. So all these three things combined is how I think we've been able to leap forward, and others can too, I think.
I'd muted myself. Here in downtown Toronto, there's kind of a reggae festival. So there's a lot of noise coming in every angle. So people are having a fun summer. So anyway, you talked of overcoming challenges, and but I want to ask you. You talked about the issue of money. What are the ways you raise money? Because that's a big problem for most of the young people. Not only like young people, but even mega businesses, nationally. How do you mobilize money? Let's talk now about money, because business is all about money. How do we mobilize money to have that our dreams come true in an entrepreneur sense?
So I think one thing that we couldn't say a few years ago maybe a decade ago, but that we can say now is that there are a lot of grants and a lot of initiatives available, or accelerators and whatnot available to startups now. So being able to tap into that, but to tap into that, you have to be, like I said, investment ready or even grant ready. You have to be able to have a good business plan, good projections, understand your business and its use cases, its applicability.
If I may interrupt you, sorry. What do you exactly mean by investment ready? And is it investment ready or investment credit ready? What do you mean? Some of people might not catch it.
Being investment ready means being prepared as a company for investment. For somebody, I believe, for any entity or an individual to give you money to your company, you have to be investment ready. You have to have a potential to scale. You have to have a good business plan of how to monetize. How are you monetizing? How are you servicing? What is your service? What is your solution? Have you approached your solution in the right way? Have you understood your business enough to know the use cases and the applicability of your solution? And what are your metrics? And it's a topic that we wouldn't have enough, in this 1 hour to discuss. But just the highlights of it is this. So that is one thing that goes into, like you said, building a scalable business. I think, if I remember your question correctly.
All right, you're kind of freezing out. I didn't catch your last words. What do you want to say?
No, I said investment readiness is a big topic in and of itself. So we didn't have enough time to touch on each and every topic of investment readiness, but the highlights of investment readiness are the things that I mentioned, with a company being investable, and being understanding where investment lies. I think that's where I was headed before I pivoted into investment readiness. But it's being able to understand that investments, do you even need investment? Like you said, like when you're starting the business, you might have room to build. For example, with Ukub, for the longest time, we bootstrapped the company and built our traction, users, and proved the concept. So that's even one thing that goes into it. But yes, definitely, for example, in Ethiopia, extracting money for investors, for foreign investors, is not easy. So that makes it very hard for us, and I believe this is a problem in many African countries. So it's hard to attract foreign investment. So maybe to de-risk yourself and to prove, so there's different angles you can play. If you can't play the investment angle where it's money, then you can maybe play the position angle, because there are a lot of companies that would love to, position themselves in. So if you have a lot of traction, so just angles that you can look into. These are the highlights.
Thank you. That's really scientific. You have to be investment ready. It's not only like you want to do business, but you must have a plan on how you want to do business. But let me ask for like, normal businesses where you don't have. I know people have mega business, they have no plan. At least that we agree. There are businesses you don't have to have a huge plan. Should every sizable business, even for $10 or $1 million, have a plan? What do you ask? What do you advise? Like, for example, a person going to open a small kiosk worth like, let's say $100. So should that person have investment plan already? What's your take on that?
So that's what I meant earlier. I mean, if you look at investment, I think from an investor's angle, it's putting in your money somewhere where it will multiply. At the end of the day, your return on investment. So a kiosk making $100 a day might not be something that's not that's a small and small enterprise, I think. So if that's where you're saying, then, but I would also say that if you need investment, if you believe you need investment, then maybe the way you source it might not be the same as what a scalable company that's approaching, a million to 100 million people and trying to service continents, and that type of scalable business is not the same as a kiosk that's serving a very local and very centralized problem. So I would say that, of course, business plans are very important. It's a matter of whether you're going to follow conventions and try to make your business plan, put it down on paper. But even if you went to a little local store in a small area in any country, that person has their business plan in their mind. It's just they have not put it on paper, and they don't go about it like that. So not everybody needs investment. That's what I'm saying. And you need to decide when you need investment. For example, with what I said with Ukko, we did not take investment for a very long time. We bootstrapped the company because we believe that you can keep adding value and keep building the concept and go for a larger, when you go to market in a larger way and expand, then you need investment. So it's also deciding if you really do need investment.
Okay, perfect, awesome. So decide if you need investment, please. There's some neighborhood rich guy there. You talk to him or her, so you service your business, or to the bank or something. But just like many people run to the banks to borrow money when they don't have a plan to recover the money. And at the end of the day, they lose everything through interest rates. I believe, at least I'm fairly known, like in East Africa, where like banks have 18% to 21, interest rates. That's insane, a lot of money. If you have a business, you decide whether you need a business. That's really a very engaging idea. Yeah. So one of the things we take on in Africa is like, why should young people embrace the spirit of entrepreneurship? Because it's one of the reasons why our young people are seeking in the Mediterranean Sea. They have no jobs. It's one of the reasons why there's a high recruitment rates in terms of tourists. People will go join tourist groups because someone just pays them like $80 and they join. Why should we young people, and from the backbone of our economies in agriculture, why should young people embrace the spirit of entrepreneurship?
So that's an interesting question too. I mean, there are obvious answers to this, but there are also answers that apply specifically to Africa that I think. And I think one is the public sector, I believe, although the best interest of the private sector and its citizens in mind, I don't believe that it serves the people as much as the private sector can. So more entrepreneurs, I believe, will when there are more entrepreneurs and scalable big businesses started in a country, they will have leeway to convince or convince the public sector's policy making to make a change in that regard, especially in Africa. I believe that that's very necessary, and I've seen it happen in my own country, in Ethiopia, where when you have businesses that really serve the private sector well, they now have a seat on the table to involve themselves in public policy making, and then they open doors, and that's just an upward cycle. So I believe that that's one reason that we need to do it. Another reason is, I believe, especially in Africa, that there's a historical marginalization that has created this stationary hierarchy of wealth. And entrepreneurship is one thing that allows people to break that cycle and go into this to break the barrier to entry to make wealth. So I believe that, and right now, it's even very interesting. It's a very interesting time to be alive, because in the past, we weren't able, you would have to have a factory, and then that factory would have to be certified to be able to export, and the logistics that go into it, and having to service the international markets to get foreign currency was very hard. But now with technology, I believe it just springboarded us into a place where if you really make a solution or a good, for example, a SaaS, if you have a good SaaS in Africa, there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to service the international market and get Forex for your country, for your business, and grow. So I believe that's another reason. Definitely the participating in the springboarding of this technology, leveraging technology to participate in the international market to make Forex. Another thing is job creation. Definitely, I think that there's a huge gap that a disproportionate number of employment opportunities versus skilled individuals, and we're not even talking about the unskilled and how to get them to be skilled, but even for the skilled individuals, there is this, and I see a lot of people going to the foreign markets to do these jobs. So having more entrepreneurs definitely closes that gap in a way and helps job creation. So I think for these reasons, it's
I like the idea. That's perfect. Wow, super. I like the idea, like to break, traditional wealth. You find like most families that are wealthy, that have been connected to the political system in a long time, and that's how. And in Africa, it's very hard to differentiate politics and business. Either it's politics that makes business, or business makes politics. It is intertwined. Thank you very much. So I see our panelists, like Alexander. Hi, how are you? Can you hear us now?
Hi. Yes,
Oh,
I can
wonderful.
hear you.
Perfect. Yeah. I like your traditional dress. Oh my, that's very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So we've been engaging. First of all, thank you for making it, trying your level best to solve the tech issues, to be on the show. Yeah, I want to come to you. What has been your story like? What inspired you? And because challenges are there. Oh, definitely. People speak a lot of challenges, but less solutions. What things inspired you to go into the business? And could you speak a little bit of how your business operates and what do you do?
Thank you, Enoch. My name is Yohana and Alexander. The rest has been said from the bio. I'm an entrepreneur since, so far as I can remember, maybe like since 2010, I think, yeah. But it goes down deeper than that. Actually, like I think entrepreneurship is a kind of spirit. So from my perspective, even when I went to school from primary, I never dreamt myself being, employed by anyone, like being on, like claiming the salary at the end of the month or the end of the specific time. So from that perspective, I grew up thinking I will create a job for myself. That was number one. Then number two, I wanted to be independent. So to me, those drivers were very important from my childhood, because I am the firstborn from home, and I hated reporting. Like you have to answer everything, and I'm like, no, that's not me. Yeah, so I would say that those two components really motivated me a lot. But however, also problems do motivate people, because we get solutions when we are always, challenged. And I have two companies, one which is in avocado processing, actually, which is my second company that I founded. And my other company is based in Harare. We do solar mini grids and the solar roofing solutions. So mainly, instead of using ordinary roofing iron sheets and the roofing tiles, we instead use roofing panels that are leak-proof, heat-resistant, and the pressure-proof. So they all come to as facing challenges and also trying to think what you can do in your small world or your big world, depending on which world you live in. So from the avocado company, we do avocado processing to oils and cosmetics. And from I started it because in my community, it has a lot of avocados. And for a long time, no one was caring about avocados. You know, we ate them after we threw them away, you know. So no one cared. And Rwanda is a very small country, landlocked, enclosed between Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, and DRC Congo. So we do not have and it is very hilly. So we do not have a lot of resources. When I came back from school, because I started from Uganda, and I realized most of the soaps and the detergents were imported from Uganda. And to me, I was like, well, I can do something. My community doesn't have to always depend on imports. So that's how I really got into making of soaps and laundry detergents. Then, you know, I did it just a try and error to see, because I never dreamt of being employed. I was like, okay, let me see what the community thinks, what it looks like. So from there, it was very small. It was I invested like 70 bucks, $70. So it was you know, something tiny, but it like people are excited to try my products. And by the end of the year 2015, yeah, it was becoming a business. And I remember myself for going into a small business plan competition, and I got the award. I was the best contestant in my district, and I got $1,000. I was like, okay, I mean, the other business can mean something. However, that year we were challenged that Rwanda closed all palm oil imports that were coming in from DRC Congo to Rwanda because of standards. And so we are like, yeah, we are using palm oil to make our laundry soaps. What do we substitute with palm oil? So that's when I said, but we have avocados all everywhere. What can we do to get the avocado oil out of avocado seed? And bang, we did the research for 2 months, and finally we are able to extract the oil. And you know, it was a very long journey, but by 2016 we realized that our business was really sustainable, and we just had to register our business. And from there, the business started changing, because it is a new product, new solution, and the results are amazing to the public. To me, that's how the soap business grew. And today we are still two shareholders, and it's around the $300,000.
That's great. Wow, thank you. I muted again myself. Thank you so much. In your story, when I was following your story, I saw that I learned that people are surrounded by opportunities, but people just don't pay attention to opportunities. Like you shared, you saw a lot of avocados around your home area, but no one cared for them. Likewise, there are so many opportunities people have in their places where they live. So what I learned from your story, and what I guess the audience should learn, is using the little resources you have to achieve, using the small thing to shoot to a bigger thing, you know, as they say, like using a small stone to tap into a bigger bat in the air. So it's something very inspiration, and I guess people could learn a lot from that. But I want to touch into that. So for you, I even asked this, Yohana, and the question about mentality, because you said you started with 70 bucks. That's around 80 something Rwandan francs, I guess, if I'm correct. Yeah, 80,000 Rwandan, $70.
70.
Yes, so people want to start businesses with 1,000, 2,000.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, what's the mindset of a real entrepreneur that you can start that business? What do you see? What's the value you see in $70 that it's gonna, you know, hype your businesses like that? But in the bigger senses, what's the three best qualities of a mentality of an entrepreneur, most especially in the 21st century, not the 19th century? Do you hear me?
Is that question for Alexander or for?
Okay.
I was asking Alex.
I didn't catch the rest this second.
Oh, this I was asking.
Yes,
Did you get?
yeah, I got you. I got you. But the rest a few seconds were difficult too.
Yes, you freezed.
Yeah. So can you hear me well?
Okay, so I was saying that for you, what's that three mentalities that stand out for you as an entrepreneur in the 21st century? Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. So mainly the biggest challenge with the mentality, you know, our African setting has a lot of mentality because we have so many tribes, we have so many cultures, and however those cultures make us. But there is a lot of beliefs, a lot of like a lot of attachments to beliefs, like to boy child, girl child, gender, like then culture. Then it comes a very, very, very big problem. For me, I call it a problem. Religion. Religion is the biggest threat to Africa. So then all those ones being a brand become, you know, a very, very big challenge to someone. So you want to, like, my religion does not allow me to do to have a piggery, but it's a business. My religion does not allow me to do rats or rabbits or any. It's weird. So those are businesses, but my religion does not allow me because it's a religion. Come on, you know. Then we have these, or so many. Everyone they have their own totems, the norms, culture stuff like that. So those are limits. Those are limits. So at one point, you have to know who you are. Number one, you have to know who you are as an individual, not as a correction, but as an individual. Once you know what you know, who you are, then you want to know what you want on this planet. Then list all those things you think you want on this planet. Then think about your talent. Then also number all the challenges in the community. Then after you realizing what you know, you know you're not going to hurt anyone directly. Emotionally, people will be hurt, but physically, don't abuse anyone. As long as you are correct in your own making, then block your ears. Don't listen when you're going to begin. Because if you listen, you will not go anywhere. Your family members will be the first people to underestimate you and your ideas. Hey, you have a degree. How can you sell avocado like on the roadside? What are you talking about? You go find a job. Stop. Like that pressure. Then we have girlfriend and boyfriend issues. You know, someone will be like, I want to please her. I want to please him. I told you, get to the list what you want to be and follow that one. Follow your heart. And broke the ears at the beginning. Once you really like you have worked, everyone will turn back. I know because I have walked through all that. Like no one was believing me because I was a smart kid in the school. My reports always told the stories, you know, for themselves. But they see me trying to forge something stupid. You rather go back to school and you know, those were feedbacks. But today because I started employing myself, now I have a team of 16 employees. I never sent any due to lockdown. I never sent anyone home. I maintained all of them up to today. And the other side, we also have other employees from Harare, Zimbabwe. So now later on, they come to say, okay, now you can teach us how to make money. So it's a mindset. You cannot change everyone, but you changing yourself and portraying yourself can change so many people when they are running from you. Because at the end, if you are like everyone else, like where I come from, it's a rural area actually. Like everyone is, you know, everyone knows each one, you know. So then if they see you every day, they know you are doing no sense. You went to school, you are a good kid, but now you are being nonsense because you are doing something that doesn't make sense. But later after, when they can, I like to use this phrase, but it's not appropriate, but I like to use it. When they can't even untie the shoelace of your shoes, they're like, okay, now tell us. You know, so you have to really focus, and you have to be angry in the heart a little bit. You be angry because you want to prove them wrong. What you're doing, you don't need, their approval to do what you want to do, everything, and you must stay right. You must stay ethical because after all, you are a human, and after all, you belong to a community. And if you are too aggressive, it will come back to you. So you do not have to hurt anyone, only broke the ears, make them, I didn't hear that, I didn't listen. So, but follow your heart at one point.
Wow. Thank you very much. Those are very incredible and mind-provoking thoughts. Follow your heart. It's the late Mao Zedong who says that you must have to succeed. You must have desire stronger than death. If you badly need something definitely will come to you. It's also scientific that people works with vibration. If you want something a lot, you attract it. So having a desire stronger than death, like Alexander was saying, focus, define what you want. And there are a lot of businesses in Africa, and I think one of the most potential business opportunities that are in agribusiness these days, because we've taken agribusiness to be, points where a place for rural farmers, people who didn't go to school. So let's explore. Like you said, if they see you around picking avocados, and I think this is a weird guy who are picking avocados, your goal, defining your vision and purpose is very important. So thank you very much. So we want to open it to the audience. I believe they have some questions or ideas on the topic or your thoughts. So I will leave that to the audience to completely take care of and ask questions. Our panelists give you a suggestion, and Mr. Osman will help us read the questions in the chat if they're there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Yohana and Alexander for sharing their experience about entrepreneurship. It was very inspiring to me and the audience. Thank you so much. Now, before I actually take the questions, Yohana, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I wanted to know if you are operating in Benin Republic. Are you present in Benin Republic? Do you have any branch or something like that in our country?
Where did you say?
The Republic of Benin. This is in West Africa.
No, we're not. This is a young company, so we're slowly scaling. We have to prove the concept here, and then also the diaspora markets, Ethiopian diaspora markets in the West. But then now we're planning on expanding into other African countries.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Asha is asking, what are company interested in investing, looking to see in investment-ready companies, business plan? He said that, oh, Asha is a lady, I'm sorry. So she said that, is there some types of draft or key things they may seek? So that's the question. That was the question of Asha. Or maybe if she's around, she can actually ask the question directly. It depends on her. Asha, are you around? I think she is, but maybe. Okay, anyway, if you understand the question, Yohana, I don't know whether you would like to answer, or Alexander.
Yeah, I can answer the question. I do understand. So when it comes to seeking investment, you have to be ready, 100% ready. Like, you understand everything, not by the paper, but by mind. Of like, if you awake, if someone just tap you from sleep and you're like, what are your sales projections in 2024? you have to be able to tell those sales. Then you're like, okay, if you got 50,000, you're looking for 100,000. If you got 50,000, what can you use this money for? You have to have all the numbers in your head and in the making, so that you then a business plan. Some ask a business plan, some ask a pitch deck, some ask just a presentation, you know. So however, you need to have all the tools in the place, so that when you meet an investor, you don't know what an investor is gonna ask for. Like, I personally hate business plans, so I have a very big problem with the business plans, but I use the strategic plan, which is very, very, very key. For me, when I meet an investor, I say, hey, I do not use a business plan, but I have a strategic plan. Here is my plan. And I can tell it offline, I can tell it when it is on the paper, I can open it, like, I'm on this page, I'm on this column, I know all the numbers. So you have to really be prepared. And you must, at one point, also, you have to be, you have to empty your hunger, your personal hunger for money. Because if you get like 100,000, then you know, if I use 10,000 to buy the other car that I want, you know, it's a personal thing, remember? So you have to end that personal hunger before you approach investors. So once you are no longer hungry for money, when you just want to develop, money comes in. Even like investors will come to you, don't have even to look for investors.
Okay, thank you so much. Hope that answers the question. Now, the other question is saying, what was your personal experience going from startup to mega? Please share. I think you've already talked about this widely. You share your experience, the challenges, and what are the things what things people should consider. Let me now move on to the next question, because we've got a lot of questions to take care of. The other question is, this is Tariq, yes. He said, I think Equip is a traditional credit and savings system, but it needs effort to collect money from people and remarking on their name. What's the difference between your new project within the past time? So what do you have? This question goes to Yohana. What innovation are you bringing? That's what the question is about.
So basically, I touched on a lot of the points of what ICOB is doing. We are digitizing this traditional proven source of access to credit and access to savings. So what we did is we created a platform that you can carry around. Obviously, your phone you can carry around in your pocket. So being able to access your ICOB, which traditionally, for example, it's very cash-based and it's bulky, because you have to go and either deposit it at a bank account, and before that you actually have to go personally and give the money to your ICOB admin. The admin is the ICOB, the head of the ICOB. So there were inefficiencies in payments. Another inefficiency is in how centralized it is. Because it's so centralized, people that could afford to be in a bigger ICOB can only be in an ICOB that they can find nearby. So it being very centralized is one issue. So what we did is, by putting it on an application and creating a searching feature where you can go on the platform and search ICOBs based on the duration. You can search it based on the amount, how many people are in the ICOB, and all of these parameters. So by being able to insert these parameters and then filter it and search it and find that perfect ICOB for you, that's another form of making it more scalable.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Go on, please. Yeah, go on. I'm listening to you. Go on, please.
Okay, so it's just different things like this. So just creating efficiency by leveraging the digital platform.
Okay, I understand that. Now, I've seen two quick questions. I'm going to ask them just once. And this question, I think these questions go to Alexander. Two people are asking about your contacts. They're saying, is it possible to do business with you? Something like that. What is your answer to them?
Yes, it is very possible to do business with us anytime, depending on what you're bringing on the table, what you have, what you're bringing on the table, and the type of partnership you're looking for. So it is very possible.
Okay, they'll be in touch with you then. The other question, this is the question will go to Yohana. It's saying here, is it necessary to use a business model canvas when you start an NGO? What's your answer to this question?
So I think I'm not too familiar with NGOs. I think any you wouldn't really consider it a profitable business. An NGO is a non-profit. So I'm not sure if you would use the conventional business plan. I'm only aware businesses that are in business to make money. So, but I believe NGOs need business plans as well, more operational plans.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. So you're saying that business might be a little bit different from NGO. So it's two different worlds. Now, let me, we'll have to wrap up some of the questions. We cannot unfortunately answer all the questions. The other question is saying, is it possible? No. Yeah. This question, how do we cope with strong competition issues on the markets? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Alexander, you can go. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So competition will always be there because probably what you are bringing, the solution you're trying to bring to the challenge, it has an alternative. So how? Number one, it comes really because if you are bringing a solution to a problem or a challenge, it has to be innovative. At least in the pricing, at least in the delivery, or even in the price in the formulation of the solution itself. So you have to find an innovation by all means, because I'm not gonna pay, let me say something for $10, and it's not poor quality, though it is gonna be delivered, but it's poor. So I would rather pay $12 or $15. I know I have something that is quality, and even if it costs me like waiting for a week, it's okay, but it's gonna last people. So you have to take in mind to have an approach when you are bringing a solution. It has to be innovative, it has to beat the odds, and never mind anyway about
I understand. So the answer is be innovative. You have to be innovative. That's the answer. Okay, and this is a very important question. It goes to Yohana. The question is saying, do you think that being a woman is one of the impediments or challenges to start a business or a startup?
I think in the past it was, and it still is, but I do believe that this new age and this new innovation and technology type of terrain is changing that, because what matters is that you create a solution for the problem. I think that, the dynamic of even that problem is changing due to this new technology.
Okay, I understand. I've gone through all the other questions. I think they're pretty much similar, and you've already answered those questions at the very beginning of your presentation. So thank you, everyone. Let me just give the floor back to our founder, okay, Mr. Ino. Maybe if you have final words, final thoughts, and we can wrap up and finish up with the webinar.
Actually, people had questions, like people want to ask straight their hands. So you could give them opportunity to ask questions too.
Okay, so you can raise your hands and ask questions. How many minutes have we got?
Max, we end at 1:30. It's 1 hour and a half. So we still have a bit of time. Let people ask questions and we wrap up. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Now we have Ameni Ben Fadila. Can you unmute your microphone and then ask your question directly to our panelists?
Hi, everyone. I hope my voice is going well and everyone listening. So first of all, I want to thank our webinar expertise today for their very important experience and delivering their experience to us and information. So it's not actually a question. I just want to highlight that we are talking about business and our world today is going so fast, and we forgot about to digitalize Africa and highlight and put the finger on digital marketing on our products, on Africa products and startups to show them to the world more widely.
Okay, maybe our panelists who would like to answer to the comments. So was it a question? I didn't clearly get that. But...
I think was more a comment, I guess.
Okay, okay, good. So we have Nana. Nana, can you unmute your microphone and ask your question?
Okay, wow. So thank you very much. So we've been enjoying, great thing, great ideas, great innovation with the lecturers. So I'm really grateful to them. Well, so my question is about the blockchain technology, and well, you guys see that now people are more and more talking about the blockchain, Bitcoin, BNB. So it's about digital entrepreneurship. It's really risky, but it's also important. So how do we cope with that? What would they say to that?
Thank you for the question. So we will listen to the answers from our panelists.
I'm not sure I understood the question, Alex. If you did, you can.
Yeah. So yep, I get you. I got that question. So mainly, how would we cope? Because every day there are new opportunities that are gonna come up, and every challenge brings a new opportunity. So number one is to educate yourself. Keep educating yourself. If you know how blockchain works, if you know how this Bitcoin works, educate yourself. However, if you do not understand, do not risk, because it's about education all the time. So if you really have time, educate yourself. If you do not have time, you have enough field of running, so you can just run from something else. I personally, I took a course from London Business School in digital marketing. So I'm very okay when it comes to digital marketing. And also I have an introduction about Bitcoin and blockchain because I took a small course from IBM. It was a computer company, but now it is a data company from Atlanta. Yeah.
So I understand. So the answer is know what you're doing. Learn as much as you can. Okay, that's what he was trying to say. Let us ask this question to Yohana, and it's been hanging for a long time. It's saying here, how do you manage to grow equip in Africa, given that most Africans are adamant and do not have faith in tech solutions, which involve monetary transactions online for fear of scams? So have you experienced similar problems? How did you deal with them?
Definitely. So as I've said, Eco is a young company and we have not gone into all of Africa. We have only been in Ethiopia currently. But yes, definitely it's very, very difficult to convince people to onboard onto the application and to transact and all of that. But I do believe that this is part of the business. And as long as your solution actually brings solves the problem, then you add the layer of training. For example, we go to small and medium enterprises, we train employees on how to use the application, and we show them that it works and that they can actually, for example, if they were looking for access by leveraging the application, so that's convincing one group of people will go over to another and another, and that kind of you can approach it in that kind of way. But it's definitely difficult. It's not easy, but that's something you calculate into your business plan.
Definitely. And your answer is education and information. You have to inform people, show them the importance of the app and how it works, how it operates, and that it's real. Okay, thank you for the answer. Now, Amani, let us just get to you. You raising your hand. So can you unmute and ask a question?
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank our guests for this webinar, both Ms. Johanna and Mr. Alexander, for enlightening the mentees, including myself, about important points in relation to entrepreneurship. And I think it's really interesting to hear such inspiring ideas and authentic experiences. And you know that learning is very important, and I enjoyed taking notes and listening to important, let's say here, important information on the issue. Now, I have a question, which is what to do, or what does it take to create my own brand and have it as a unique one? How do my services, let's say, be much less, and um, how to be like create a startup which is one of a kind? So that's my question, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Amani. So the panelists, you have the question.
Yeah, I will answer to Amani. If you have to create a business that is one of a kind, or a brand that is one of a kind, you have to bring a solution that is one of a kind. So you have to think differently. You have to think out of the box, and the solution must be the ultimate. You know, it doesn't have to be compared to any solution. And building a brand is small by small, but you do not have to think something else, but you a brand.
Thank you for the answer. So simple words. The first thing is what makes your idea unique? The uniqueness of your idea is the first thing. And as far as the brand is concerned, you have to make sure that you stick to the plan and you follow your steps. Okay, that's how we can grow a brand. That's what you just said. Okay, now let us give the floor to Leon. Can you hear us? Can you unmute your microphone? Leon, can you hear us? This is Leon, right?
Yeah,
Leon.
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I wanted to ask, Nshime was talking, I don't know if I pronounced it properly, but he was talking about how he doesn't like business plans. I also don't like them, and preparing them is always such a hassle, especially when I know I can speak my plan properly to someone. So, but people need tangible things, and he was talking about the strategic plan. I just wanted him to highlight to us the different pieces of that strategic plan, and maybe I can copy that in my own enterprise.
Okay, so when it comes to business plans, you know, there are so many types of business plans, but one thing I will tell you, a strategic plan, it gives you the highlights of a business plan. So it's like a business model canvas. It's one page, but you understand the whole business. So the strategic plan includes your strategic growth, and it includes your everything. So it is small, but it is almost the story, your company story or your idea story in numbers. So you don't have to have a business plan if you hate it, but it depends. But for me, a strategic plan works if you can run to make one, or if you can come in the box, and I will help you understand a strategic plan. So
thank you so much. I think that answers the question. Now let us give the floor to Dembo. He's raising his hand, so can you unmute and ask your question?
Yes.
Okay.
I thank you, Johan, and your time and your messages. We are always like somebody who is never trained on entrepreneurship, and you wanted to start up a business. Is it possible to start up a business without being trained? Like taking up experience, you start up something, you don't even after spending all, after when all the business, all the materials that you have, half of them exhausted, you don't even have what you spend. So is it possible to start a business without being trained for it? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Very simple and straightforward question. So who would like to answer to this question? Very simple and straightforward. Thank you, Dembo.
Yeah, it is very simple to begin a business. Actually, when you are not trained from entrepreneurship program, actually it is the most interesting one, because once you get trained, you get a lot of things that will scare you. You get a lot of knowledge, and you don't know what to do with that knowledge. So you rather run as you go. So you rather start, then you are like, present a business plan, then you go sit. How do I make a business plan? Present a financial plan. How do I make a financial plan? So you run as you go. It is very okay to begin.
I understand. Yeah. Did you understand, Dembo? I think his answer also was very straightforward. Let me ask this question to Yohana, which is very, very important. It's very current and happening right now. The question says, since your startup based, okay, is based on traditional financial services, we're now going towards CBCDs. I don't know what's that. Maybe cryptocurrencies, I guess. Are you considering to upgrade your services with new financial system emerging from blockchain tech?
Definitely, because obviously, it's at the end of the day, it's creating efficiency. It's our aim, and something that's scalable and scalably avails credit, access to credit. So yes, we are, and obviously the use cases of blockchain and all these cryptocurrencies they have.
Exactly, that's true. Business, they have to adapt, right? They have to adapt to the changing situation. That's what makes business very, very profitable and let's say scalable. Okay, I think we don't have any other question. I'm just checking. I can't see any questions. So let me just give you the floor. Let me turn you back the floor, Sir Enoch. So maybe you can wrap up everything, and if you have final words, we're listening to you. Thank you, guys. And I want one more time, maybe people who don't know me, I am a research director at African Rebirth. Okay, people are asking about whether I'm a journalist or not. I'm not a journalist. I'm a research director at African Rebirth. Thank you.
Awesome work, Osman. Thank you so much for moderating the panel, and I think I can't thank enough our dear panelists for giving your thoughts. There's a bit of road construction, something. It has a weird noise coming in. Do you hear it?
It's not very loud. We can clearly hear you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So thank you very much. I was saying that we had a wonderful panel full of the reason why we invite young people is to break that cycle that in order for you to be successful, you must be in your 40s, 50s. No, there are people making moves in their 20s. So it's not too late for you to start or too early for you to start. Every time is a good opportunity for you to start something. So you've heard yourself from Yohana and Alexander. So it's up to you guys. Like Alexander said, he used to see avocados around his home. You also have so many opportunities around you. Eh? And Yohana says you should have investment plans. What do you plan? And I think to me, the message I took is have a saving culture. Don't eat money. There is this famous phrase like being drunk like fishermen, sailors, eating money like sailors. So the philosophy behind is they got the leg, get the fish, eat everything every month, because the philosophy is behind it. The lake won't migrate. They will still wake up and go fish. So that should be highly avoided. we should, have saving culture to generate income, investment, money. Business is about money in a nutshell. So if you don't have money, it's gonna be hard. But I would add that it's not all about money. You must have an idea and a clear ideology of where you want to go and what you want. So thank you very much, Johannes. So points to take home. Number one, know yourself, know what you want at a personal level, not at a communal level. Second, have investment plan. Start a saving culture. And number three is look around you. There's so many opportunities surrounding you for you to prosper. I can't thank enough. I would give opportunity to Yohana and Alex. If you have a few final thoughts, very short thoughts, you can say it and we'll call it a day.
Thank you for having us. This was a very interesting conversation. I'll pass it on to Alex.
Yeah, thank you so much. But I wish to hear from Mazig. I don't know, from Blockchain Guru. He has been raising the hand from the beginning, but no one. So let me just hear what he has to say.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Actually, I typed in the question, and Osman already read the question. It was about the CBDC and the emerging of the new financial system. So yeah, thank you for that.
All right, thank you. So those who want to begin a business, this is the best time to start. Go do it. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. I'm sorry, Mosaic, for not giving an opinion. I didn't see that. Thank you, Alex, for raising that. So wonderful session. Thank you guys for your attendance. The good thing for Yohana and Alexander, if you didn't know, you are talking to the whole of Africa. All these young people come from in every part of the continent. So please reach out to them, collaborate, because the philosophy or the motive behind this African rebirth is to connect young people to each part of Africa. So please reach out to Yohana, reach out to Alexis. You can have big and mega business ideas and connect. I saw some of you saying you are not in West Africa. Engage with them. You might be a window for you to open a branch in West Africa. And another thing, the one thing I like about entrepreneurs is they think profits, interests. I wish it was also the issue in politics, because in politics we tend to go personal, we tend to go into other things that really do not benefit for the benefit of society. So thank you very much. The hope is that young people embrace the art of entrepreneurship as we drive a new Africa of independence, of dignity, of innovations. And next week we have a very wonderful topic about digital transformation in Africa. And I saw people raising that. So thank you very much. Have a very good night on your end. For those who are in North America, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I thank you very much. It was a great panel.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.